All right. Hope everybody's doing good. Happy Fridays at 4 with Freed. I am here in Gig Harbor. It's pretty sweet. Take a look around. I love Gig Harbor. It's so beautiful here. So just came down for a rally later this afternoon, and we got here a little bit early. It's been a full busy day. Was in Vancouver this morning. Had a great breakfast with a packed room at the Golden Corral. So let me take a flip of my iPad here and make sure hopefully y'all can see me. But yeah, went to the Corral this morning, had a great room full of people discussing a lot of the different issues of the day that are going on. I do hope that you can hear me. I am on my my headphones. I don't know if Kim, you can give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me all right? Let's see. Hi, you can hear me? Okay, good. Kelly, thank you so much for letting me know. I appreciate it. I would hate to be on here just chatting for a while if you weren't able to hear me. But what a beautiful day. Hopefully you can see behind me. I'm standing behind a beautiful set of flowers here to get a little shade out here on the dock. But it is a great day in Washington State today. It's beautiful across the state. We had a great event last night with probably 100 people down at a farm down in Fern Prairie. You know, it was a fun evening to be able to be there and debate my opponents in the race on the Republican side. I certainly look at Jay Inslee truly as my opponent because we will see a Republican win this year in the governor's race, and I'm excited to have the support of so many people across the state. Tonight we're going to be meeting here in Gig Harbor for an event, and it's going to be great to be able to discuss the issues and hear the concerns that are on everyone's mind. But when I was down in Fern, I might have a table that's coming here a little bit soon. I might go sit down at a table for a minute, but first I'll just say hello. But I'd love to take a few questions from folks, and I didn't get my iPad set up right, so I've got my camera on the right side of the screen and then all the questions coming up on the left side of the screen. So it looks like I'm looking off in the distance for some odd reason. It's because of that. Thanks for your patience, but also thanks for jumping online with Fridays at 4 with Freed. We've been trying to be more regular with doing this, but obviously with the busyness of the season, this is one of the most busiest times in my entire life, as you can imagine, but I am absolutely loving it. We have so many events next week. We're going to be in Chelan Monday night. If you are in Chelan, if your friends are in Chelan, please come join us from 7 to 9 at Slidewaters. It's going to be an exclusive private event. It's a chance, if you don't like lines at water slides, this is a chance for you to come and go and go and go for 2 hours straight. So go to freedforgovernor.com/events. You can sign up there. Then we have an event on Tuesday evening in Quincy, and they really go on. We're going to be spending a lot of time in central and eastern Washington this week over 3 to 4 days. And then, of course, we have a lot of events over back here in King County and Pierce County. Tomorrow, I'm going to be at a rally up in Snohomish County, and then I'll go over to Port Orchard and be there in the afternoon. So trying to make sure that I'm making myself present across the state. Already at the beginning of this week, on Monday, we were in Ellensburg, and we had we had a debate set up for Monday, and sadly both of my opponents canceled that debate at 12 o'clock. They canceled the night before, which is disappointing, but I got an hour and 51 minutes of free airtime all over TVW that expands all over western and eastern and central Washington. So free hour and 51 minutes would have cost a significant amount of money. So it turned out to be a pretty darn positive event. So let me see here. Somebody says barf. That's really wonderful. Don't know what that was referred to. So I have to go back to all my comments and see if I got any questions here. But thanks so much for putting your comments in there. I'm going to scan down. Usually I'm in the office, and I have great help with the staff that's in the office to help me out with questions. But so right now I am scanning just to make sure. Yes, Christine, I was endorsed by the King County Republican Party. I'm super proud of that endorsement. King County Republican Party, as well as the Snohomish County Republican Party. I've been endorsed by the Pierce County Republican Party Chair, Dave McMullen, and also by the Kitsap Republican Party Chair Tony Stevens. So a great honor. Those 4 counties are extremely important to us, as all 39 counties in the state of Washington are. But there is only one candidate that can win in November, and that would be the Freed campaign. So I know there's a lot of other candidates running. Some folks have chosen some favorites, but the reality is winning the primary and winning one battle is not winning the war. But thankfully we have a lot of support, so I'm looking forward to go through the primary. I've had a lot of exposure, obviously, in King County and Snohomish County and beyond, because that's where I've called home for a long period of time. So a lot of organizations I've been involved in, service groups, boards I've served on, whether it's the King County Mental Health Advisory Board or the Eastside Transportation Partnership. I also served on what's called Protect a Child Today, and this was to protect children from being sexually victimized, because sadly that sexual abuse does happen within our societies. We need to have the strictest penalties when it comes to sexually abusive pedophiles. We should never be standing in defense of them. We should always use the full force of the law and never say that some people declare that they are guilty just to get a lighter sentence. This is time to be standing in the gap for those people that have been victimized, for women who have suffered under sexual abuse. And we need to be a party that is the one that is going to defend. So Pamela says, can hear, but screen is green. Is that just me? Is that right? Is anybody else seeing green? I'm looking for some comments. Not you. All right, let's see. So I don't see any other concerns about green, so that's good. So as far as masks and CDC guidelines, a lot of people I'm in Gig Harbor right now, I got to tell you, not everyone is wearing one. Probably a quarter of the people that are here are. 3/4 aren't, because we're out in the sun in the clean air. And if you read what happened in the 1918 Spanish flu, the number one thing that you need to do is to be outside, breathing clean air in the sun. And so here we are. I'm in the sun. I'm in Gig Harbor, as you can see. Now the sun is on my face because I've been hiding behind a bush. But you can see we're in this beautiful place here in Gig Harbor. And this is a time that we should be outside enjoying the community of which we are in and making sure that we are healthy and in good shape. But look at this beautiful place that we live in. Gig Harbor. Got an event here tonight. So it's up to you. We have the freedom in America to be able to wear a mask or not wear a mask. That's what we get to decide. The governor can make mandates, but they are not law. He says that he's going to stick law-abiding citizens in jail or give them a fine or charge them with a misdemeanor. That's not America. This whole time during this COVID crisis, we all know that he's acted like a bully, saying that if your kid is out on the sidewalk, write them out of the will. And if they won't listen to you, then tell them the governor is going to contact them. That is not what we should be standing for. We should have a leader that pulls us together, and I think I'm that leader, one that can unify us. When he divides us into groups and then encourages one side to make phone calls and call the government in on your neighbors or your friends to report them if they're on their way to their non-essential job, that's pretty dark. When people are suffering and wanting to provide for their families, when they are not getting their unemployment checks for 6 to 8 weeks because Jay Inslee has put them out of work and yet is not providing an ability. We all know as fiscal conservatives that we should not rely on government. So this situation has made a lot of fiscal conservatives out of people that understand that growing government is not the answer. Uh-oh, you're still there. I just got a message that we disconnected. All right, so how do we think you jump ahead of Colt? We are. If you look at all the polls, we are well in advance. The most recent poll just showed Eyman was in first this time. I was in first last time. 2 points separate us, and then Fortunato is in third place and Culp is in fourth place. Don't let the signs on the street concern you. We are doing just fine. We're getting our message out across the state. So I'm excited, and of course, always look for your support. How are you going to debate Inslee on climate control? As you know, he'll push his agenda. He will, but I'm telling you, that's not the number one concern of Washingtonians. It actually ranks at the bottom of the 3 different polls that have been done, certainly in King, Pierce, and Snohomish County, and the 2 other polls that happen across the state. The number one concern is my issue, meaning when I want to address the rise of crime under Jay Inslee, the rise of homelessness, drug addiction, mental health issues that are not being addressed, those are all issues that are part of my platform and where we have authority. Where Jay Inslee is extremely weak. He's failed for 7 years and almost 8 years. It's time to have him replaced. So climate change ranks extremely toward the bottom. As you can see, he came home with an asterisk of support as he made his platform when he was running for president all about climate change. The man is a hypocrite. no doubt about it. When he talks about removing the dams on the Snake River, those dams provide power up to 800,000 homes, clean power. Yet he spent $750,000 to remove it. What we need to focus on is energy conservation. We are true environmentalists in the sense that we care for the environment. We don't worship the earth, but we just are obligated to care for it. At the same time, we're going to move our economy forward. We need to have jobs in Washington State. Far too many people are suffering today. I had that experience running my own company for 15 years and also being mayor of the city of Bothell, overseeing the largest revitalization of downtown. We need to get government out of the way because small business is truly what creates jobs, and we need more of them. What are your thoughts on Seattle's eviction moratorium that is in effect from December to February each year? I think it's extremely problematic. As you can imagine, you still have landlords that need to pay their mortgages or their mortgages on their rental properties. And when the governor decides to say, well, you don't have to be evicted, well, what does that do to the landlord? Puts them in a situation where they can't even pay their bills and they get the bad credit or potentially even move toward losing their property. Not right. So as governor, how you protect landlords? Lorna, exactly a great question. It needs to be a holistic system. If there's something that happens where there's a catastrophic event, it needs to be all the way through. But the reality is a governor just can't make those sweeping declarations. What are your specific plans to reopen the state? Will it simply be fully open once you take office, or are there certain metrics in regards to COVID that will need to be met? I say all businesses are essential, all jobs are essential. You can't divide people into groups of winners versus losers, essential versus non-essential. I want to make sure that we get people back to work who really need to do it to provide for their families. And I'm thinking about Jay Inslee, who said that you have to stay home, you can't work, yet unemployment checks aren't coming, and then he recklessly sent $1 billion of our hard-earned money to a Nigerian fraud ring. Talk about failed leadership, and yet he's failed to fire the ESD director because she's a fundraiser for the Democrat Party. If I'm a Democrat, I'm embarrassed for how my governor is acting today, where he won't even fire one of his political allies because she's completely failed because she gets money to him. If she got fired, Inslee would become vulnerable. Talk about selfish direction by Jay Inslee. It's very clear. He is the emperor with no clothes. All right, so let me get down to a couple questions here. Hopefully I got a couple of those. Forced vaccinations. No, I'm not for forced vaccinations. So on my iPad screen, I see a limited amount of the questions here. Will you be making it back to the eastern side of the state anytime soon? Yeah, Rhonda, absolutely. I'll be there on Monday. I'll be in Leavenworth midday. Then I'll be in Chelan in the evening. And then on Tuesday, I'll be in Quincy, and we have several events happening on Tuesday and Wednesday. So please look at my calendar on Facebook, Joshua Freed for Governor, or go to our website at freedforgovernor.com/events. A slide water event on Monday night should be super fun. No, you will not see me in a swimming suit. The campaign's been difficult. All right, TMI. All right, will you be making it eastern side? Yes. Hello from Ellensburg. Good. I hope to see you soon. I was there at the debate. Thank you so much, Darlene. Yeah, that was an interesting debate, not a debate at all. But it was free airtime for me, an hour and 50-some minutes on TVW. I'll take that any day. I'm never afraid to answer any questions. I think when you're in this race and you say that you want to represent the citizens of Washington State, you should never back out. You should never chicken. You should face the music. I know that sometimes people are afraid to answer difficult questions, but I'm there. I'm ready to be on the gap to listen to what's important to the voters. So I'll be in Wenatchee next week, Christine. Since I'm on my iPad, I can't look at the calendar immediately, but please look at freedforgovernor.com. Vicky, 3 times. Where can we find all the things that you stand for? Most of them should be on my website, but abortion, number one, I am pro-life. As far as individual rights, I am pro-First Amendment, of course, pro-Second Amendment, pro-full state and U.S. Constitution. As I take the oath of office, I'm not going to selectively choose which laws I like and don't like. I think we criticize the Democrats for doing that, and I'm one that believes that if you take the oath of office, you need to defend the laws of the land, because lawlessness is what we're all concerned about. We don't like that the Democrats aren't following the laws when it comes to homeless issues with drug and alcohol addiction, and we're letting people go downtown Seattle to take over the autonomous zone. And so lawlessness has to be enforced. No green screen. No, I'm not for mandatory vaccines. Again, I thought it was my body, my choice. And yes, I have COVID here. Let's see if we can get this under control here in the wind. All right, I'm going to stand here and just give a look at what's happening in the background in the boats here in Gig Harbor. Gig Harbor event tonight. All right, you guys, let's see a couple more questions, and then are you for harassing teenage young adults just trying to do their job at the ice cream shop? That your rant you did was disgusting. Oh, well, Jessica, you know what? You know what's disgusting is people at Molly Moons. You say they're just trying to do their job, but then Molly Moons puts on their door that cops aren't welcome with their guns. I mean, what do you want? You truly want lawlessness. That attitude is what's the problem with Seattle today, and why so many people don't want to come here, and why we have a reputation across the nation of being a place of lawlessness. Our city was an embarrassment across the nation and even the world for weeks because of what happened there. So if you don't want the cops to come in and save you when a robbery's going on, then by all means, you're on your own. But for me, I stand behind the police officers. Absolutely. We need law and order, safety and civility. When that Chaz zone went into place, and when they told the cops that they didn't want them there, what happened? People got shot. People died. So if you want people to die, say don't let the cops come with their guns, but have fun with your ice cream. All right. So me to green screen, I don't know what that means. Yes, I did represent the citizens of Bothell for 12 years, and I was mayor there over the largest revitalization of downtown. My other opponents simply do not have the executive experience I have. I served on the Eastside Transportation Partnership. I served on King County Mental Health Advisory Board. I helped manage a staff of all our firefighters in Washington, or in Bothell, and all our police officers. I had a city of 47,000. So absolutely have far more executive experience for the legislative level, executive level, running my own company for 15 years. There is nobody that can match us in this race today. That's the facts. And if you want to send somebody up who's never even gotten a college degree, man, that's up to you. But what people are going to be expecting is that they're going to see somebody who has excelled and moved forward, certainly. I went to school, got a business management degree, and also have a master's. So I think education is important. Not everyone has to go to a 4-year college. There's other opportunities for sure, but I think what we need is to make sure that we can beat Jay Inslee in November. And I am the candidate with the experience, with the connections, with the talent to be able to do so. And if you skip debates and don't prepare for the debates against Jay Inslee, obviously you're going to left lacking. All right, Callie, breathe free. All right, I'm going to keep on going down here. Sorry, I've got to keep track of the time. All right, it's 4:17. Good, we're doing just fine. So let's scan down. Sorry. A lot of good comments here. God bless and good luck on everything. Thank you so much for that. Got asked to leave Costco with deaf grandson because we didn't have the wear mask. So I've worked with the International Deaf Education Association for 21 years. Every year we see in 7 different schools in the island of Bohol in the Philippines, South Central Philippines, 350 students come into this program, and we teach them reading, writing, arithmetic, K through 12, and then we help them become independent, teaching them to work in restaurants or construction companies. We have the best construction company on the island there. They're involved in the resorts on the island, working hard, and what is extremely important in the deaf community is to be able to read lips. So when Jay Inslee says, well, deaf people can go without masks, help me out there. How is a deaf person, I mean, what sense does that make? Are they looking at their own mouth? No, people read lips when they're deaf. So everyone else, if they want to communicate with them, they need to be able to look at people's lips. Jay Inslee doesn't even stand the basics of that. He is so dismally prepared. Let's see, how are you going to be able to get anything done with Democrats in control of so much of Olympia? It comes with common ground, finding ways that you can work together. I did that in the city of Bothell, pulling together the stakeholders group, working with them to create a vision for downtown Bothell. Then ultimately we rewrote the code to make Bothell a place of business-friendly environment, and invited $450 million worth of private investment into the town. Bothell was open for business. We called it Buy Bothell. And with that, we saw an incredible regrowth of our city, and from that we saw sales tax revenue come in, and we were able to use that sales tax revenue to support police and fire. We were able to double the size of our park. We were able to purchase over 150 acres of open space. We were able to give tax breaks to seniors, and I didn't have to increase taxes. There are ways that we can move forward. does any other candidate that you're thinking about have any of that type of experience? You have to consider that. That's why I would appreciate your vote. I look forward to taking forward what we've done together in debates against Jay Inslee, the 3 debates I hope that we have, because I just love talking about the issues and looking right into his face and saying to you, Jay Inslee, you have caused, under your leadership, a 41% increase in murder in Washington state. You have caused a 65% increase in rape. You have made us a sanctuary state, which has made it more dangerous for young children. We have rampant sex trade in Washington state. That means average age 12-year-old boys and girls, yes, 5 and 6-year-old kids in sex slavery in Washington under Jay Inslee's watch. And you can better bet I will hang that right around his neck. He has failed us, he has divided us, and in a time that we need unity, I can bring people together. All right, let's see. Mary, oh no, that was not directed at Freed so whatsoever. Uh-oh, maybe something was happening that I missed the comments as I'm scrolling through here. What are your thoughts on this Seattle's eviction moratorium? I think I just talked to that right at the beginning of this. Bothell is a beautiful, clean city. Thank you, Jessica. It's a fun place. Please come. I mean, there's McMinimans there. Brian and Mike McMiniman, good friends, opened the wonderful facility down there. They have so many of them down in Oregon, and now opening a few more. There's one in Tacoma, just near me here in Gig Harbor. Great facilities, great businessmen, and they invite people in. It's a wonderful place of gathering. Really, what's important is to get together and gather, which I encourage you guys, if you're anywhere near Chelan, Wenatchee, come join us on Monday night at the Slide Waters from 7 to 9. We're going to have a private, exclusive event there, and then we're going to have some rallies. We're going to have some meetings in Leavenworth and Quincy, Wenatchee, and throughout, and would love to be able to see you there. We're going to go to the 911 memorial as well. Allison, thank you so much for your vote. I sincerely appreciate it. Deanna, how do I differ from Culp? I just have the experience. I was mayor of the city of 47,000, overseeing full police departments and fighters. We have a wonderful city of 47,000 people, and you can imagine with hundreds of employees in the city of Bothell. It's a great place to live, and I'm glad to say that every time I ran, all 3 times, I was supported by police and fire because they know that I believe in what they do and I stand behind them. Tri-Cities. I was in the Tri-Cities 2 weeks ago for a couple events there, and I think I'll be there in 2 weeks if I'm correct. I'm going by memory, but please go to freedforgovernor.com /events, and also you can go to just one sec. You can go to Joshua Freed for Governor on the Facebook page, and you can see a lot of events there. Can you explain your pro-life stance further? You said my body, my choice. Yeah, to make sense, I am absolutely, I am pro-life. And so when I said my body, my choice, I said that's always what the other side says when it comes to the abortion issue. But of course, when it comes to forced vaccinations, they say you have to have them. Well, it's kind of hypocritical, isn't it? So the difference here is when you have a living child inside of a woman, that means you need to protect everyone's constitutional rights, even that child who has a viable life. So yes, I am pro-life. You definitely got our vote. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That wasn't towards you at all. Okay, so there's a conversation going here in the midst of the questions, apparently. Jessica's pro-cops. My question for you, Mr. Freed, as a local 117 team member, I really need to know how you feel about unions. I was supported by the unions in the city of Bothell every 3 times that I ran because I